Something big is quietly happening at Aptera, and most people have absolutely no idea about it. Aptera has been posting some fascinating updates on their Twitter page recently, showing real production progress. I still call it Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Old habits are just really hard to break sometimes. These posts showed something that genuinely excited me as a longtime Aptera fan and follower. They revealed 8 dashboard solar panels sitting ready, prepped, and waiting for the Pi vehicles. 8 panels. Lined up, ready to go into actual cars. That is not a small thing at all. Now I started counting them carefully in the photo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 panels confirmed. But here is where my brain immediately started running wild with questions. Does 8 panels mean only 8 Pi vehicles will have the Solar Dash feature installed? Or are they planning to make 16 total, and this is just the first half completed? I honestly do not know the answer, and Aptera has not clarified that specific detail publicly yet. But what I do know is that seeing those panels lined up felt like real momentum building fast. This is not a rendering. This is not a concept drawing. These are actual physical panels made real. And that difference matters enormously to everyone who has been waiting and watching for years now. Then something even more interesting appeared on their Twitter page just a short time later. A second post showed up featuring a very specific piece of sheet metal photographed from 2 angles. This photo was different. It was technical. It was detailed. And then suddenly, it just disappeared. Gone. Deleted. No explanation given. No follow-up post, just vanished like it never existed online. Now, obviously, when something disappears like that, the speculation engine inside every fan kicks on immediately. Why would Aptera post something and then quietly take it down without saying a single word? Did something go wrong with the part shown? Did a manufacturing partner ask for the post removed? Was it posted accidentally before they were ready to share that particular update with the public? I have no confirmed answer, but I find the mystery genuinely fascinating and worth talking about openly. What I can tell you is what that photo actually showed before it disappeared from their page. It featured a company called Amino, specifically Amino North America, and a very important metal piece. That piece was the lamination tray mold used specifically for making the rear hatch solar panel. Now, if you have been following Aptera closely, you already understand why the rear hatch matters so much. The rear hatch solar panel is the largest solar piece on the entire Aptera vehicle by far. It is bigger than the roof panel. It is bigger than the hood panel. It is the biggest one. And because it is the largest, making it correctly and consistently is a genuinely complex manufacturing challenge. To understand what Aptera is doing here, you need to understand how their solar panels are actually made. They use a lamination process where layers of solar material are pressed together into one unified panel. To do that pressing correctly, the machine needs a mold that perfectly matches the shape of the panel. Think of it like a cookie cutter but for solar panels made from very specific and precise shapes. Aptera showed this lamination machine in a solar and production video they released roughly 1 year ago. In that video, you could see the machine opening up and a roof panel sitting perfectly inside it. The roof mold was already done. The hood mold was already done. The dash mold was already done. But the hatch mold, that big curved rear piece, that one was still being worked on then. And now, based on this photo that was briefly posted, the hatch mold is finally finished and ready. That is genuinely significant progress, and I think it deserves more attention than it has been getting. The dash panel is actually a flat piece, which makes it the simplest one of the group to produce. Flat surfaces are easy. No special curves, no complex geometry, just flat and clean and straightforward. But the hatch is a completely different story. It has curves. It has contours. It has a specific shape. Getting that shape exactly right is critical because if the mold is off, the solar panel will be off. And if the solar panel is off, it will not fit properly onto the vehicle without serious problems arising. So, finishing this mold is a big deal, and I genuinely believe it deserves to be celebrated properly. Now, here is where things get really interesting. How exactly did Amino make this large, complex mold? There are a few ways you could approach making a piece of sheet metal shaped like the rear hatch. The most obvious traditional method would be to machine it directly from a solid block of metal. Take a huge metal block, put it in a machine, and carve out the shape you need precisely. But that approach has a massive problem. The final piece would be incredibly and impractically heavy. We are talking about a piece so heavy that you probably could not even lift it manually yourself. And even if you could lift it, loading something that dense into the lamination machine would be risky. The machine is designed for lamination, applying even pressure gently, not for handling extreme weight loads. So machining from solid metal is technically possible, but practically it just does not make any real sense. The second option most people would think of is traditional metal stamping, which is extremely common industrially. Stamping is everywhere. Car doors are stamped. Appliance panels are stamped. It is a proven reliable method. The way stamping works is you create a die, essentially a perfectly shaped mold made of hardened metal. You then place a flat sheet of metal on the die and press down with enormous controlled hydraulic force. The metal deforms and takes on the shape of the die underneath it, coming out shaped and ready. It is fast once set up. It is repeatable. It produces consistent results across thousands and thousands of parts. But here is the enormous problem with stamping for something like Aptera's rear hatch solar mold specifically. Creating the die itself is incredibly expensive. We are talking about serious money just for that one piece. Think about what goes into making a precision die for a complex, curved, automotive-scale piece of metal. You need expert machinists. You need premium hardened steel. You need weeks or months of careful, precise work. The cost can easily reach hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single properly made stamping die. And that cost only makes financial sense if you are planning to stamp tens of thousands of identical parts. Car companies can justify that expense because they stamp the same door panel a million times over. But Aptera does not need a million hatch molds. They need one mold. Maybe a small handful at most. Spending that kind of money on a die for a handful of uses makes absolutely zero financial sense here. So Aptera and Amino found a smarter, more creative, and honestly more fascinating solution to this specific problem. The method is called dialus forming, and when I first learned about it, my mind was genuinely blown. I had never heard of this process before, and I consider myself someone who follows manufacturing topics closely. Dialus forming is essentially what happens when a CNC machine decides it wants to work with sheet metal. Instead of pressing metal into a fixed die shape, dialus forming uses a completely different mechanical approach entirely. A smooth metal ball, or sometimes a small rounded tool, is pressed against the surface of flat sheet metal. The tool does not punch through. It does not stamp. It gradually applies localized pressure in a controlled path. The machine moves the tool in precise programmed paths, slowly pushing and shaping the metal bit by bit. It is patient, methodical work. The machine traces the shape you want across the metal surface continuously. As it does this, the metal gradually deforms, stretching and shaping itself into the programmed three-dimensional form. The results can be surprisingly complex: curves, contours, ribs, angled surfaces, all without a single expensive die. Amino North America actually has a video showing this exact process working on a piece of sheet metal clearly. Watching it is genuinely mesmerizing. You see the tool moving. You see the metal slowly taking its new shape. First, the broad curves get formed. Then the machine switches to finer tools for detail and smoothing work. By the end of the process, you have a complex-shaped piece of sheet metal that looks professionally manufactured. And you achieved it without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on tooling and die fabrication costs. The trade-off is speed. Dialus forming is slower than stamping for producing large volumes of identical parts. But when you only need one or a few pieces, that speed trade-off is completely and totally worth accepting. For Aptera's situation right now, dialus forming is not just acceptable, it is genuinely the perfect solution. They needed one high-quality hatch mold shaped precisely, and they got exactly that without breaking the budget. If you look closely at the photo Amino posted, you can actually see the evidence of this process clearly. There is a subtle ribbing pattern visible across parts of the metal surface where the tool tracked its path. Other areas have been smoothed out by subsequent passes of the tool during the finishing stages of production. It is beautiful in a functional industrial way, evidence of a clever process solving a real engineering problem. And the fact that Aptera found and used this solution tells me something important about who is running this show. These are not people guessing their way through manufacturing. These are people who know what they are doing deeply. They evaluated their options. They understood their needs. They found the right tool for their specific situation perfectly. That is the kind of engineering decision-making that gives me genuine confidence in where this company is headed. Now let me walk you through where I think Aptera actually stands in the overall solar panel production process. Based on everything posted publicly over the past several months, a picture is starting to come together clearly. The dash panels are done. We saw 8 of them sitting ready in that first Twitter post update. The roof panels appear to be complete based on the lamination machine footage shown about a year ago. The hood panels also appear to be finished based on similar evidence from earlier production update content. And now the hatch mold is complete, which means hatch panel production should be starting or already underway. If my reading of the situation is correct, then Aptera is in the final stages of solar panel preparation now. They are building up a stockpile of completed panels so they are ready when the rest of the parts arrive. That is actually a smart manufacturing strategy. Get your most complex components ready and waiting in advance. When the remaining parts come in from suppliers, you do not want solar panel production to become the bottleneck. By having panels already stockpiled, they can move quickly once everything else is in place and ready to go. It is the kind of forward thinking that suggests Aptera's production team understands how real manufacturing timelines work. Now back to that deleted post for a moment, because I think it is worth revisiting one more time carefully. 2 main possibilities come to mind when I think about why that post was quietly removed without explanation. The first possibility is that something went wrong. Maybe the hatch mold had a flaw discovered after posting. Maybe they tested the mold in the laminator and the resulting panel did not come out quite right initially. If that happened, pulling the post while they resolved the issue would be a completely understandable response, actually. Nobody wants to celebrate a milestone publicly and then quietly deal with a problem behind closed doors simultaneously. The second possibility is simpler. Maybe Amino had not officially agreed to have their company name publicized yet. Business partnerships sometimes have communication guidelines, and announcing a vendor without approval can create real problems. Aptera might have posted in excitement, and then realized they needed to check with Amino first before sharing. Either explanation is reasonable, and honestly, neither one changes the fundamental excitement of what was shown briefly. The mold exists. Amino made it. The dialus forming process worked. Those facts did not disappear with the post. Whatever the reason for pulling it, the underlying progress it represented is still real and still moving forward. And that is ultimately what matters most to everyone who has been following this journey for years already. I also want to take a moment to appreciate just how cool the dialus forming technology actually is on its own. Before I saw this post, I genuinely did not know this manufacturing method existed in the way it does. I had a vague sense that CNC machines could work with metal, but not like this, not with sheet metal. The idea that you can create complex 3-dimensional shapes from flat sheet metal without any fixed tooling is remarkable. It opens up possibilities for small batch manufacturing that simply did not exist practically just a few decades ago. Companies like Aptera, building innovative vehicles in relatively small initial quantities, benefit enormously from methods like this. They do not have the production volumes to justify traditional stamping tooling costs for every unique panel shape. But with dialus forming, they can still get professionally shaped precision metal components without the massive upfront investment. It is one of those manufacturing innovations that quietly enables entire categories of new products to actually exist. Without something like dialus forming, a small EV startup making solar lamination molds would face enormous financial barriers. With it, the barrier drops dramatically, and the path from design to physical prototype to production becomes far more accessible. I think this is part of why Aptera has been able to progress as far as they have on their budget. They are consistently finding clever solutions that match their actual production scale instead of copying large manufacturer approaches. That kind of resourcefulness and technical creativity is genuinely one of the most underappreciated parts of the Aptera story. People focus on the solar range numbers and the aerodynamics, but the manufacturing ingenuity deserves equal attention and credit. So where does all of this leave us right now as people following Aptera's progress toward actual Pi vehicle production? I think we are closer than the general public realizes, and closer than the silence from Aptera sometimes suggests. 8 dash panels ready. Roof panels done. Hood panels done. Hatch mold finished with production likely now underway. That is not a company still figuring things out at a fundamental level. That is a company in execution mode. The Pi vehicles are the critical milestone. They are the proof that everything works together in a real vehicle. Once those vehicles are built and tested and validated, the path to customer deliveries becomes dramatically clearer and shorter. Every solar panel stockpiled right now is one less bottleneck standing between where Aptera is and where they need to be. And every smart manufacturing decision, like choosing dialus forming over expensive stamping, keeps the program financially viable. I find myself genuinely more optimistic after digging into these posts than I was before I started looking closely. Not because I am blindly positive about everything Aptera does. I try to be honest and realistic always, but because the details of what they are doing reveal a level of practical competence that should not be overlooked. They are solving real problems with real solutions, and the solar panels are actually being made in the real world. That is different from promises. That is different from renders. That is different from timeline announcements and investor updates. Physical panels, physical molds, real manufacturing partners, real processes, real progress you can see in actual photographs. That is the kind of evidence that shifts my confidence level from hopeful to genuinely and specifically encouraged about Aptera. Now I want to hear from you because this community always has knowledge and perspectives I have not considered yet. Had you ever heard of dialus forming before seeing this post? Because I genuinely had not, and it surprised me. Do you think the deleted post signals a problem or just a routine communication issue between Aptera and Amino? And how many Pi vehicles do you think are being prepped right now, based on what we have seen publicly? Drop everything you know and think in the comments below. I read every single one and genuinely appreciate them. This is one of those topics where the community knowledge is honestly better and deeper than anything I know alone. So share what you know, share what you think, and let's figure this out together like we always eventually do. Thanks for being part of this journey and for caring enough about Aptera to actually dig into the details. Because details are where the real story lives. And right now, the details are telling a very encouraging story indeed.